Hello guys, this is leathertoolz. Today I'm to show you guys how to use CHARTERMADE skiving knife, including the actual footage of Tarek teaching me how to skive leather with this knife. To do this, you need to have a flat stone or like granite or glass, and you need to have a strop and the knife. To make the strop, you just need a simple wood, just a flat wood, and then glue leather onto it. Usually people put a leather like this, glue leather rough side up like this. Some people do it like this, but I prefer this way. Rough side is up so that the paste can be, put on easily. Now for the polishing compound, Tarek recommend the blue polishing compound because that's the finest, so that it can just sharpen the edge beautifully, nicely. But if you can only find green compound in your local area, you may use green compound. But don't go below the green compound, like white or black compound is not good because it can change the edge geometry pretty quickly. So use the fine compound you can find in your local area. If you can't find local area, just go to like auto body shop, some kind of machine shop. They will have a compound, polishing compound. Okay. Now I'm going to show you guys how to sharpen this knife before the skiving. If you see close, there is a part section. If you see close, there's a flat side and a curved side. Okay, I'm going to sharpen the flat side first, and then curved side, and then just connect these two. All right. I want to show you. You always draw from the strap. Okay. First, I need to flat this, and then I can just draw. Okay. Just the flat side first. Draw. And I'm not touching this side, okay? This side should be like more like a raised, okay? I'm just touching the edge. Edge is just touching the strap, okay? This edge, what I mean edge is this very thin line here, okay? You don't go too up, okay? This will just blunt your edge. You just go parallel to the edge, cutting edge, and then your round part should be like this, okay? And then you connect this part here, okay? You sharpen this, and then you just sharpen here, and then it's connect. What I mean connect is just polishing those two areas like this. And then what you do is just put it like this, back side, and just pull, okay? Don't raise, okay? Flat against the strap, just a flat, okay? Like this. Now your edge is sharp now. Okay, so what I'm going to demonstrate is I'm going to just to teach you how to hold this knife, okay? You need to practice this knife because it's different from conventional paring knife or skiving knife you're used to. So I've been using this knife for about a week, so you need to just get used to what this how this knife is used. It's a total different way, so you need to get used to this knife to use this fully, okay? I want to just show you guys quickly how to hold this knife. I'm left-handed, so you may think I'll show you just with the right hand too. For left-handed, you just grab your knife with the two fingers touching these two sides, and then your index finger touching here, okay? Like this, okay? And just flip, you see, like this, okay? Okay? And then if you're right-handed, assuming this side is curved and this is flat, here, show you, here like this, oops, this, okay, like this, okay, and always these two fingers will move like this, and then this finger will just control the depth, and then like it will move very easily with two fingers, just like this. Okay, but grab it like this. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys the actual footage of Tarek teaching me how to use this knife. It's record of a Skype, so the image quality is not that good, but I'm going to show you how to use this video and how to use this knife after the recording of Skype with Tarek. So don't worry, and let's watch what Tarek's how he used this knife.
Okay. Alright, Jen, what I've got here is just a couple of pieces of different leathers. That's the original Skiving knife. So mine is not as pretty as everyone else's, but the blade is exactly the same. So I've kept the blade exactly the same, but changed the handle on it. So the length of the blade, the shape of the curve, everything's the same. Mine has been used for many years now, so you can see my edges got a lot of use in it. So that's the only difference with the knives from the original to the ones that are there now. I've got three pieces of different kinds of leather here. I've got one piece of leather here from Tannery Weinheimer, which is a very, very soft, plush leather, which is quite, I suppose, a trickier leather to scarf because it's softer, but not with this knife. Then I've got a piece of chevre leather from Tannery Alran in France, which is 1 mil thick, and a piece of mulled veg tan, which is a little bit stiffer, but still quite a soft plush leather. So the way the knife is designed to be used, I think what kind of separates this knife as well is that, as I've said to you before, the knife can be used both sides of the edge. So you can use it that way, and you can use the knife that way. So the way I designed this knife to be used is, instead of marking out your scarf lines, what the knife allows you to do with this point is to first, so let's say you want to do a thinned out edge for a handbag, because we don't want very thick edges on delicate pieces and of least of our high quality leather items. So the first step is to use this side of the blade, and what this does is it allows you to create a little score line. So what this is doing, this is actually setting the depth of your scarf, but it's also giving you a nice clean cut to start with. You're not having to push it in a funny angle or anything, and you're working perpendicular to yourself. So a knife's edge is designed for slicing, not pushing, and so the knife is designed to be used with your body strength and with the motion of how we naturally move. So now once you've got your score line over there, you can bring the knife edge to the other side where this corner comes in, and what that does is it allows for a nice easy slide through your piece of leather. So what that does is, you'll just come in with your corner, and you can just gently push that through. I'm going to work a little bit slower here because we're doing a demonstration, but you can rock the knife sort of back and forth like this, just until you get to a point where you're almost through your scarf, and then come in through the back end and just work that edge all the way through. So I'm just move my fingers out the way so we can see what's going on here. And there will be your scarf for a nice thinned out edge on a handbag or a project that you're working on. So about half the width off of that scarf. Then what you can do is, as well, if you're wanting to go even thinner and do a feathered edge over here, you can turn the knife back to the reverse side of the edge and do what's called a feathered edge. So now you would just put, also very important, always be scarving on a piece of marble, granite, or a piece of glass, a hard surface though. You won't damage your edge, and it's a lot safer to work on. So a feathered edge now, you turn your knife reversed, and you just kind of work that edge just gently off. And that'll give you a lovely feathered edge, paper thin. So if you're wanting to do a rolled edge, for example, with a feathered edge like that, you're not going to see the leather mark on the other side. I'll do the same process again with the piece of chevre from France. I'm going to just change my angle here so I'm in with the motion of the scarving a little bit easier. So again, every time I start a new project, so there was, even though it's a small little scarf, it's very, very important with any blade that you're working with to keep your edge in prime working condition. A blunt tool is far more dangerous than a sharp tool. You know, a blunt tool is when people start pushing a little bit harder than they should instead of letting the edge do the work, and that's when accidents happen. So I always keep my strop right in hand while I'm scarving, and this knife has had hundreds and hundreds of hours of scarving go into it. So strop always at hand, and then just several pulls down the strop, lifting up on your corner. So if you left-handed, it'll be on that side. If you're right-handed, your corner will be on that side. So just several little pulls onto your strop. One, lying the tool flat, just to remove any micro burr that might be there. And this is just the lightest polishing compound you can get that I use on my strop. So it's just maintaining your edge to keep it razor sharp. So on the piece of chevre, the same thing. I'll reverse my knife to the sharp edge, which will give me my score line. So if I come down over here, and this is very, very thin leather. This is 1 mil thick. So I'm going to set my depth of my scarf here for a rolled edge. So again, just creating a score line, which is going to control your scarf going all the way through. Then swap your blade side around again, and just stick your corner into that score line that you've created. Now you'll notice that I'm actually working with my fingers in front of the leather, and when I'm holding the tool's up in my palm, and I'm keeping control of the knife's edge. But the thing is, when you trust your tool and you've worked with it a lot, holding it like this, especially on your very, very thin leathers, it stops the leather from stretching out. So it means that you don't have to do any sort of trim work again afterwards. So again, I'll just bring that tool around on the back end, just removing the piece of leather from the back end, and then just work that scarf through. And I'll move my finger there again, just so you can see what's going on. And that I've taken down to around about a 0.5 mil scarf now. So that'll be really nice if you're doing a wallet edge, to get things really nice and thin over there. And again, for your feathered edge, if you're going to be doing a rolled edge, turn your blade around again, just work it onto your piece of marble, granite or glass, whatever you use for your surface for your scarving, and just let the tool do the job. And there you've got a beautiful feathered edge, paper thin. So that's the chevre leather, 1 mil thick. And this is a piece of plush leather from Tannery Veinheimer. It's a lovely leather to work with. Really a luxury leather. And the scarving process is the same. So again, because I finished off a project, even though it was a small scarf, I'm back on the strop. You can see I strop my knife a lot because I believe rather maintaining your knife, keeping it on the strop, and what this does is as well, it means that you'll have to sharpen the knife on a stone or on a piece of water paper a lot less frequently. So by looking after your edge, you don't have to sharpen your knife as much. In fact, I went through several months of using my edge and many meters of scarving before I ever sharpen my knife again. But that's only because I look after the edge on the strop. So I'll just pull that down again several times, once flat, just to remove any. And now I'll always check for my sharpness, and I can feel that's razor sharp again. And the same process again on all the leathers. You'll start off with that same process, giving you a beautiful score line first, so you've got a nice neat scarf when you're finished, which lines up nicely for your leather projects. So again, let me turn this leather, it's got a bit of a crinkle in it. So again, now I'll just set my score line. And the trick is when you get any new tool, or any new blade for that matter, is to take a bit of practice and feeling where your edge is. Obviously, I've used this tool for many years now, so I know where my cutting edge is. Obviously designed it for my own style of scarving as well. So I feel very blessed that so many artisans from around the world are using this tool today and getting good results with it. But so when you first get the knife as well, like You can see I go nice and easy. I know where that knife's edge is. And I always advise the people that are getting the knives as well, take a piece of scrap leather and just practice finding where your edge angle is. Find where that knife slices the best, because then you're going to get the best results with your tool. So again, I've created a score line which sets the scarf that I'm about to do. So I don't have to guess where that scarf is going. I've actually marked out the full length of the scarf. Even on a handbag project, if this was a big handbag or a travel bag, I'd do the same process. So I'd mark out the full length of my scarf, so I know that that's going to be a perfect scarf, perfect thickness going the whole way through a project. So again, turn the knife over to its corner side and just let your corner do the work. And in actual fact, what's happening here underneath the leather, with each piece of leather, you're going to find your own movement, but I tend to give it a little bit of a rock. So I'm working with the corner, straightening it out as I go along, and you can just have this rocking motion, which gives a nice smooth transition through the leather. So again, my fingers are placed just in front to stop any leather from pushing out, because we don't want our leather to be stretching out like that and causing a mess on our edge. So again, I'm just going to let the knife do the job. And this is the thing as well, when you strop your knife regularly, the tool's going to stay razor sharp like this and just melt through the leather. I mean, there at the moment, that's a little over a half an inch with a scarf, and you can see how quickly that knife just ate through that leather. And again, I'm just going to come through the back end. I work this a little bit differently when I'm scarving, but just so people can see what my hands are doing. Again, I'll just cut through the back end over there, place my finger on the back, and just let the edge work through the scarf that it's already set. Now let me take it all the way through. And there will be your scarf. Come through and just neaten up your edge. And that'll have to neaten up a little bit more to get that little feathered edge going over there. This is a very, very, very soft plush leather. You can see it just kind of melts in the fingers. So, Jun, what else can I show you over here? What else the knife can do?
Okay, that was the video of scarf recording from Tarek, teaching me how to use this knife. He has been using this knife for years, but I've been using this knife for about a week. You need to now get used to this knife, to use this knife fully. So don't be frustrated if the results doesn't come out as what Tarek showed, but I'll show you just practicing for a week how this knife performs. Okay, so I'm here. I have this pretty thick Chrome XL. This is about 3mm thick Chrome XL leather, pretty firm leather, and this very soft, like this is the shrunken calf, and this is a pretty firm shrunken calf. Okay, these three types of leather. I'm going to demonstrate the exact way how this knife is used. Okay, so you need to grab your knife like this, like I showed you. Okay, and then the flat side should be up, facing up. Okay, not like this. Okay, like this. Then use this square tip to make the score line. Okay, this score line decides how wide you want to skive and how deep you want to skive, like how thin you want to skive. Okay, you make the score line. Now the depth of the width of the skiving is determined now, and then how deep you want to skive is also determined. Okay, how thin you want to make this part, thin edge. All right, and then you flip the knife, and this round portion comes in handy. As you put your blade inside the score line and you push, this rounded part cuts into the leather. Okay, I made a score line pushing, and I'm going to cut the leather pushing. Okay, pushing. All right, see, do you see how easily it cuts into? This is why you need a sharp knife, and sharp knife than blunt one, because blunt knife is more dangerous than sharp knife, because you force the tool into leather, and that can cause you a problem. Right? Oops. Obviously I'm doing this for real, so I did this, but it's not good enough, obviously, but I practice again. Okay, you flip this knife, you make the line, score line here. Right, and then using this knife, just cut into the blade. Yep. And then cut into like this. Yep. Yes. Yep, I did. Did I do okay? It's not that hard, just few hours of practice will just can deliver this. See how thin the edge is, and you can fold, and you have a very thin edge. Okay, from here to here, it's pretty thin, right? This is sign up sharp knife. Okay, you can't do this kind of work with blunt knife. Okay, you need to have a sharp knife to make a paper thin edge. Now let's try like a more firm type. Again, flip the knife flat side up, and with a scale tip you push, and then you make a score line. Not sure if you can see, but here. Yep. You decide how deep you want, and you decide the width, and then you flip the knife, and using the round portion you push it in, and this edge will just do the work for you. Okay, don't push it in too hard, don't push it in too soft, just let the blade work. Okay, all right, let's see how the results. Okay, I failed for this time again, first time. Not the first time, I mean first time on camera, but again, this edge is ruined. So you need to have, scrap leather ready, and you need to practice where the edge cuts. Okay, you need to see how this cuts. Okay, you need to push like this, and all of the angle and motions to feel like how this knife cuts into leather. Okay, this is just a new knife that you have never experienced before, so you need to just feel how this knife performs in your hands, in your minds, that you need to have feeling that's how this knife is cutting into. Okay, so you need to practice. Okay, again, make the score line, just get the idea to feel the edge, how this knife cuts into, and just rock and forth motion. Yep. Success on second try. You see how thin the edge is now? And if there's a little bit of left here, you can just finish it off. Yep, like this. Yeah, you can finish it off, and then you have a thin edge, paper thin edge like this from here to here, right? And then next from Excel, let me do skiving for long portion. All right, this long side. Before I do that, let me bring the stroke back. Few strokes, then just push it, pull, then it's sharp again. Now, for long skive, again, flip the knife, first side, and scare tip, pushing. Right. Using the round part. Just let the knife do the work. I'm not putting any of the effort or force, just yes. Yep, I've done it. This is about 3 mil now. It's down to thick to 1 mil, right? And if you wanted to just clean the edge, just run your blade down like this, and then you just clean off, and then you have thinner edge now. Then you just run your blade again. Oops, right. It's thin now, it's really paper thin edge, just from here to here. Just, it's enjoyment to do the skiving with. Okay, for cutting you need to have a cutting mat for your surface you're cutting. Don't cut on a glass because glass is really hard, so you need to have a soft kind of material for the edge that can be good enough for cutting. It could be a cutting mat, it could be some kind of rubber mats, but use the cutting mat material, like a high density polyethylene material. Don't cut it on a soft rubber because it can drag your knife blade, and it's not just good surface for cutting leather. Okay, so you need to have a high density polyethylene. It's HDPE material or some kind of cutting mat that's designed for cutting job. Okay, I'm using the skiving knife as a Japanese way, but actually the Japanese way should be cutting this bevel side should be facing the piece you want, but in this case this is a different style knife. This is a CHARTERMADE skiving knife, and if you want this for cutting, you want the piece that's be cutting should be facing the flat side. Okay, so this is the piece I want, If I cut like this, this is piece you waste. If you are right-handed, you are putting your right hand like this, so this is the piece you want, and you cut this part, and this is piece you waste. And this flat side is facing the pieces you want, okay? Now, first side here, just cut, and I just rock it, and then see, here's the piece I want, okay? This is thin vegetable tan leather, so obviously it just cuts really well. Yeah. Right. This is a veg tan, about 1 mil thick. Right. It's a sharp knife. I can just dice. And this is a pretty thick, it's a 3 mil Chrome XL leather. Again, this is the piece I want. This is going to be the piece I'm going to waste. So flat side should be facing the piece you want, okay? This is 3 mil thick leather. Do you see that how easily it cuts? Just no effort, ever. Okay. Here, this is chrome leather. Okay, and the best thing is you use this round portion to just rock the knife. Okay, you rock it for your end cutting and just get good features on that. Yep, it cuts beautifully. Again, so this knife can cut, skive, just two of the jobs you need essential for your leather crafts. It's amazing at just to stay sharp forever. It's really sharp. I can cut like this or like this, whichever you want. Just cuts and cuts. Again, Chrome XL, 3 mil thick, very thick Chrome XL leather. Just cuts, cuts. Yep. It cuts easily, okay? It cuts like hot knife through a butter. Right? See how thick this leather was? It's really thick leather, and this knife cuts it like it was nothing. Let's experiment like how fast, hot, you can cut through leather like this. That's 3 mil, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Alright, this is 21 mil thick pieces of leather, okay? 3 mil times 7, 21 to cut it. See that? Did you see that? It cuts like nothing. Yeah, this is like a leather monster. Okay, again, this is CHARTERMADE. More focus. Yep. If you haven't seen part 1 or part 2, I will put them in the description box. This is a CHARTERMADE skiving knife. Go check out the other videos. And if you want to buy this knife, I will also put a link down in the description box. If you are US, there will be a supplier. It's Rocky Mountain Leather Supply. And if you live outside the US, you need to contact Terry directly. So I will put his email into the description box also. This is really good knife to do leather craft with. Awesome, awesome. All right. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel. And I will keep the videos coming for new tools. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.